This call is being recorded.
Yeah,
Just to make,
we'll give you 2 or 3 minutes.
oh, thank you so much. I just wanted to make sure, were you, just to confirm your birthday, 1966, May 5th at 1 a.m.
That's correct. That's correct.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions at all, whatsoever. That's totally fine.
Is this a bot or is it deep? Is this a peace builder?
Is it what?
A bot, a robot?
Oh,
No,
word.
I'm messing with you, Mike. Go ahead now. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
You
I
sounded
made
like a
sure.
robot. You got these bots out there now. You can't be too careful.
Yeah, that's true, actually. You never know. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, your chart is amazing. I
I'm
always,
trying to get with your vibe. That's all. Cause I love your channel.
yeah, no, I appreciate you. And your chart already, I'm really fascinated by the 60s generation, but I can already see right off the bat your chart is super awesome. And just to give insight to that, I'm going to start the reading off just pointing out that you're an alien. You have you have one of the strongest, in my opinion, alien constructs in your natal chart. And what I mean by that is you were born with Neptune in Scorpio on your moon. Neptune in Scorpio is a aspect that I would like to do a documentary on because it's one of the strongest intuitions. My mom has this where like this gives one very pure psychological intuitive understanding of what people are going through or have psychologically, and for your moon to be on it means that your soul is not only a pure soul in Scorpio but a vessel of this divine and extra dimensional pure energy in Scorpio. So as a Neptunian vessel, I actually have this, but in Capricorn. So mine is a lot more physically, sensually based and touch activated, kind of like psychometric. But in Scorpio, this is very pure. And Neptune vessel aliens like you and I can read others' minds and auras, hypnotize others, read psychically, deeply empathize, communicate with marine life, read clairvoyantly, dance with devas, communicate with the spirit essence of essential oils, communicate with the fairy kingdom, interpret dreams, cloak themselves in invisibility, read other souls and see their greatest potential, conjure illusion and fantasies, and assist the dying and crossing over. To see that you have this, oh, your chart is ridiculous. This is insane. So you not only have this on your MC, but then you were born a Taurus sun, natural king, with the destiny on your sign and the god of war Mars, and you have all this as an Aquarius rising. So I'm speaking to true royalty because your moon is in a sign of the pure king, pure royalty. Your sun is in a sign of natural royalty, the natural king, and your rising, your title is high nobility. You are the high king. So it's interesting. The name you sign up with has Ra in it, and you know there's elements of this high nobility that you're tapping into for the first time this year, relative to the last 12 years and the last 30 years. The last time you went through this cycle was 1991. And so you've come back around to start a brand new 30-year cycle at the same time you're starting a 12-year cycle. It's a huge honor that I'm even speaking to you right now. And I hope I don't really sound like I'm flattering you. It's really interesting, especially to know that not only are you high nobility, you're literally natural royalty aligned with destiny. Having the spirit of natural royalty, because you are the high king, right? High King Michael or High King Leahcim, your vibration would be that of transcendently pure natural value. Or you would be the pure producer because Taurus is the producer, the pure manifester, where now the quality of your pure soul funnels the hidden wisdom that Neptune legitimately transcends. Because we have to think that at the core of your moon you have this connection to the God broadband astral realm. And so now your soul is a portal to an extra dimensional realm outside of this world into the astral, where you can pull on infinite wisdom. Neptune and Scorpio, in and of itself, is very gangster when it comes to precognitive dreams and being able to really harness that, which is very, very, very wild, because we know that not only that you have that, I really have realistically chills. This is wild. Not only do we know that you have that, but the South Node is here. So that means this is an aspect of your past life and early childhood that you came in this world to inherit the success and that consciousness you brought from a past life, so that this lifetime you're solidifying the individual foundation of value as High King, which is even more important because we also see you were born with Saturn on Chiron in the second. So your Neptune, and that's the thing that fascinates me the most about most of the 60s. You Saturn, because in the 90s we're born with Saturn opposite Chiron, so y'all had Saturn conjunct Chiron, which linked your karma to this divine transcendent collective healing path, which is very difficult, especially opposite Pluto and Uranus. And we know around the 60s was the explosion of more materialist reductionism science, but also, Pentecostal movements and the hippie movement. So like this was a really pivotal time with civil rights, especially. So to see that you have as a High King Saturn at this high max authority that trines the depth of Scorpio, and then on top of that to boot 29 degrees Jupiter in Gemini, you're not the average person. We know that you're purely true royalty or high nobility. And the reason why I used to scoff at royalty. I used to be like, oh, screw kings and queens. They think that they're, and then astrology taught me, no, no, no. There are some people in this life who call themselves king and queens. And then there's some people in this life who are kings and queens without the crowns, without the social whole, oh, this person is acknowledged. You have a charge in the fixed nature of what you were born with, because you've progressed beyond this at such a level that high nobility. The reason why Aquarius is the highest level of royalty. I'm a Taurus rising, by the way. So as a Taurus rising, you paid me so that we can communicate. It's the lowest level of royalty because Taurus is the most grounded. Taurus is one of the realest signs, and you were born as, with one of the most grounded spirits. God of War Mars here. So the way that you express this natural energy is what determined quality. And unlike me with Mars and Aries that can recklessly start anything, but then not really finish it unless I'm motivated. And even then, you're going to start slow, continue slow, but you're going to finish determined, practical, and you're going to apply that. The trine that this makes to Virgo takes the hidden values as an aqua rising, and now it's in the dealings with others. Pluto and Uranus conjunct 15 degrees, one is insane. That's like winning the lottery. And it's an extreme, unconventional analysis of details that make it near impossible to lie to you, even if you don't know the details, because you're going to read it in people's body language instantly. And because this is drawing from extra dimensional extreme analysis, it's like being able to analyze details with a super quantum microscope with which you can analyze it at extreme quality. So because I'm a Taurus rising, that's individual. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer are individual zodiac signs. And as an individual Taurus rising, my second house is individual Gemini. I manifest money and value by talking, by communicating. And so that's why you paid me, so I could talk to you. You are High King, the highest level of nobility. Because whereas I'm a Taurus rising and I manifest my AC, I'm self-made. As a Taurus sun, you're the producer, you're the boss. So you're aware of this in your life. But as an Aquarius rising, you're the High King. I'm the natural king. You're the High King. High nobility, high kings and queens know thyself, because Aquarius is I know. So I know Aquarius AC is I know myself. You're the self-known royalty because you apply knowledge of self in every situation. This is collective. So you reflect that knowledge of self towards the rest of the social environment around you, which allows you to hold space for other people to creatively perform with and to you. And this is where you manifest divine value. I manifest true value, which is at a one-on-one level. You manifest divine value, which is collective for everyone. So as High King, this is important because you're manifesting a divine quality of magic that is purely imaginative. And we know that the ruler of your second house of Pisces is directly on your moon, on your MC of legacy. So your soul is not only attached to your legacy, your destiny is attached in bringing the legacy that you succeed in this life in order to be foundation and produce for your family, your extended family, your immediate family, your private world, your place of home, and to really unlock that level of foundation in that you're using the resource of career. I know a woman with this who was born a Capricorn sun on the South Node. So, it's interesting for women because women are meant to play this domestic role in Cancer. So she had the South Node in Capricorn in the 10th and the North Node in the fourth in Cancer. And so she was a casting director before she managed, astrologers. She was like casting director for one of the X-Men movies that came out. And like her life was always about being busy. And she was really good at that, like just being busy in that corporate world. But what was difficult for her was to be at home with the kids and like do the domestic stuff, which normally you would think women would be already, cool at doing. But this is what was a challenge for her. So this isn't so much domestic for you because we don't have fourth house Cancer, we have fourth house Taurus. Fourth house Taurus for me is real estate, it's assets, it's owning land, and it's taking the underground wealth because Scorpio is underground wealth. Neptune on the soul is like the intuitive quality of being able to just sense where this is out in the world. But this is your success. This is success that you're bridging from a past life. It's like bringing the pure wisdom that most people may misunderstand because you have to be divine. You have to be a level of genius to even understand Neptune. Otherwise, it's going to come across as delusional. With the MC, you may have had a reputation of coming across as strange, paranormal, or even delusional. When really, you're the High King. Like your soul is legitimately linked with supernatural psychic wisdom, and so that's not going to be conventional. And not only that, it's going to really speak to how you can really intuit this hidden jewelry and underground wealth, and then excavate it and flesh it as a foundation of actual wealth. Looks like we see that pipeline from pure wisdom to natural energy. And so the ruler of your 10th being the ruler of your second being in the 10th house links the intuitive receptivity to success in order to hyper manifest from the realm of imagination anything you want into reality, with which Saturn anchors, and Chiron will heal more so the need. So Chiron in the second on Saturn especially is a 30-year lifelong lesson, 30-year to lifelong lesson of healing the self-esteem and value of others. Chiron in the second can be feeling you're not valuable enough for the first part of life, especially with Pluto and Uranus in the eighth, with people you deal with psychologically trying to undermine and like lie about your values so that they can manipulate you to do more, because second house Pisces could be unconditionally giving. And this is where the Chiron in the second in a water sign wants to feel, right? In Cancer, it wants to feel valuable. In Pisces, it wants to believe that it's valuable enough for the collective around it. But Saturn on it could be limitations, doubt that you've had for a while until your Saturn return, where you realize, no, 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 I'm super valuable. Because Saturn in the second is such
Okay.
a very strong. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, please don't hesitate to interrupt me if you want to, ask any questions or if there's anything you want to mention. Once again, your chart's very fascinating. So this being next to Venus and Aries in your chart also applies that sense of karmic limitation to the exciting ways you express beauty, or with Venus and Aries, this more wanderlust of, power and individuality in the way you creatively express your ideas. But Saturn here is really good for wealth. It could bring limitations for the first 2 years, but you're coming into a Saturn return the next couple 3 years with Neptune on here that's going to transcend with the Neptune trine how much more powerfully you really tap into this manifestation ability, which I want to maintain is not only very supernatural, but with Pluto and Uranus opposite here, this could really unconventionally bring dynamics with outside energies or opposing energies to invest, to undermine, to expose, to transform relative to who you're around. And this is what brings us to the square to Jupiter, where the limitation and constriction of your value in a second is expanded, where you control that element of the divine experiences you manifest. Because we have to call it for what it is. Your second house, Pisces, is a supernatural element of magic, divine transcendent magic, because Pisces is the highest level of magic that you manifest. It's literally, your chart literally shows me that you have not only supernatural magic manifestation abilities, but your ability to manifest the highest level of divine magic is at a total complete level with Saturn. And so that control enables you to expand how much more you express your talents, where that square with Pisces and Gemini can hold in check what you know based on what you believe, so that it's aligned accordingly. But Jupiter 29 degrees is the maximum abundant authority right before it goes into its exaltation in Cancer. And it's a huge deal because it's going to expand a lot how you express your heart. It's going to expand a lot, mildly clashing how you express the talents of your inner child. As a high king, Gemini fifth house is the talent to communicate. It's the talent to really, work with words and express, whether through writing or with words, the gift of gab. And Jupiter here is such influx of information and communication that really enables you to change your fortune the more you really lean in to this element of your talents that's now sextiles Mercury, which is the life and boldness of how you communicate. I love Mercury in Aries too, because it can be a bit vulgar, where Mercury in Aries isn't it doesn't have a problem with cursing if it has to, or really just express. It's not about cursing as much as expressing the raw, original attitude in the third of your mind, and the ideas that enable you to spark instinctually with your brain's processing, expressing the individuality of your character, especially with the yod, that will intensify what you say based on how deeply you feel and based on the perception of analysis with Virgo in the eighth, which will very much influence the power of your attitude that you communicate. The ruler of your entire chart as high king is Uranus in the eighth on Pluto, which is the ruler of your 10th house and MC. And so a lot of your identity and how you really sense your career wisdom is what will influence how unconventionally and supernaturally you deal with others. Opposite this magic, supernatural magic you manifest. And I want to really put that way because Uranus in the eighth is this very unconventional sense where other people can kind of feel you're weird because you incorporate the fact that you're supernatural, and they may just not understand that because they're not, or they just don't perceive that. And so they may not really be in a position to understand why you engage in such weird practices that ultimately work out for them, because I mean you're the high king and you're legitimately like hooking them up with such magical insight that might be beyond their understanding but will always take place, because remember, you're legitimately aligned with destiny. And this makes sure that you're manifesting that. And now this is the coolest thing about all of this. You already have the North Node go over Jupiter. The North Node is about like 5 degrees. And at the end of the year, it's 4 degrees. And at the end of the year, boom, it's going to go into Taurus. You're going to start the next year off with a nodal return, which is you reestablishing your destiny. What are the odds that you're going to reestablish your 20-year destiny path at the same time that Saturn and Jupiter kick off a brand new 12-year cycle and 31-year cycle? This is super gangster. And the reason why this is important is, as a high king, what does it even mean to be a high king? Because it's one thing to go around and tell people, I'm a high king, like I have high nobility. But that's not going to really mean much to a lot of people, especially people who are not familiar with astrology. And this is where Saturn and Jupiter are coming back around cyclically to make sure you're even more aware of the significance of your status as high king already having pure real nobility with Scorpio and Taurus. Whenever I see an rising in a fixed sign, I'm like, this person is a true king or queen. Like they have that full, like every aspect is anchored. And this is where, because fixed signs are strength, you represent energy, pure energy with Scorpio. Cosmic energy is the representation of knowledge with Aquarius, and then natural energy with Taurus. And so The reason why the universe responds to royalty before anyone else is simple. A lightning is objective in that a lightning will strike a charged rod before it will strike anything else. And that's really fixed energy. Y'all are charged, you're stronger. So the universe will respond to you before it responds to any less strong energies. Not because it plays favorites, but that's just science. Like that's just how energy works. And so it's interesting because now you're going to be manifesting over the next couple of years the divine quality of experience that will really bring more of what you've known your whole life, this command and authority that you have over celestial energy. High kings are able to manipulate the weather. High kings and queens, high nobility can manipulate weather, command celestial beings. And to see that you have max authority in Pisces, you were literally born with manifested authority over the divine and over existence, which is exclusive to Saturn and Pisces, born in the 60s and 93, 94. I'm sorry, yeah, 93, 94, and 95 a bit. And this is important because,
Can I ask you something, Mike?
please go ahead.
Can I ask you something? I just wanted to give you just a few things that just from my understanding. I was driving one day because I've experienced some weird stuff. Very weird since I was a child. And I knew I
Right.
was weird. I knew all of this. I dreamed. Even last night I'm dreaming dreams like I can come out and write books. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what kind of
Wow.
dreams it is? Because I've been dreaming all my life, but they stopped for like 20-some years because I went through this stage in my life. But right now the universe is saying like it's been 25 years for me. It's like I'm a paid debt karma, and that 12 and 12. So 12 is real powerful numbers to me because it's like a
Right.
balancing that I had to go through. I've been inside myself all my life, and people have not understood me because I didn't even understand myself. I just here 16 months ago began this journey right here where all these things are being downloaded in me, and it's just this, I don't even know how to explain that. But I had an incident about some years and years and years ago because a lot of stuff happened when I was young in my 20s and stuff like that.
Right.
I was driving down the street and I lost conscious, and I ended up somewhere else going a different way. Did that happen?
What?
Yeah. I don't tell people that, and because people think you're crazy. There's only a few people I've been told that to because I don't want people to think that I'm just crazy because I don't know what happened. I was driving.
Right.
Like you said, you can command things. And I noticed that. I remember 20-some years ago, it was raining. That's when I was in religion. I was walking around. I said, I'm going to walk this thing 7 times. That rain going to stop. It stopped. So I know
Wow.
that what you're saying is really true. But
That's
I just wanted to ask this question because this is what's been bothering my mind. And I told the universe just basically gave it to me. You understand death better now. When in these 16 months, I asked what that happened to me that day, because I guess I was in my 40s, and I was driving, going down, and I commanded something in my mind. I wanted to see something. I remember that, and all of a sudden, I just blanked out, and I was going to work. I ended on the total opposite of my job, like going back to the freeway, not even in the same lane. I don't know why I didn't go in the ditch. I don't know why I didn't go in it. And this is actually a true story. I don't tell everybody this. I just wanted to tell you because I know you know some things, okay? So
right.
is that strange?
No, that is the definition of strange. And that to me gives me insight on your Neptune on your moon, because Neptune rules sleep too. It wouldn't be a stretch to say, because with us as vessel aliens, we're a bit possessed by these energies. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that you got possessed by this inner deity soul within you and it took you over. And
And it
that's what
protected
happened.
me. It
Oh,
had to protect me
absolutely.
because I was trying to find out why I wasn't in the ditch, what happened to all that space, and I didn't want to tell because it's just like a lot of things. When I was younger with my mother, I saw my mother in a dream. I done seen people even pass on in other life. When my brother passed, it's just so much. I don't even want to even get in there because I know we don't have that
Right.
kind of time. It's just my life has just been an experience, and right now it's becoming even more an experience. I'm out here
Yeah.
talking to nature, talking to the trees, and all this kind of stuff that I ain't
Yeah.
never did. And just in 16 months, this thing, I feel like I can talk to the doggone water. So
Yeah.
these are things I cannot talk to a lot of people, my family. They don't understand
Exactly.
me. They never understand me because I broke away from religion. I put no titles on anything. I got to this place where it's no titles. I don't want any titles. I just experience things. It's not even really a belief. It's that I'm ready
Right.
to experiencing it, my mind is just totally different. It's just
And
I'm
you
just
know,
in these last 16 months, just been. I had a dream in 2009 about swine flu. It woke me up out of my sleep.
wow,
And then when COVID happened, something said this is the time. And I had a dream. It was in a bear. It was like a bear in a dream. I was in this place where I was seeing all the negative going on, people in cages and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, well, where am I? I never knew where I was because this was in 2009. But when I came to
right,
16 months, the universe let me know this is the time where now you need to go within yourself. And that's when I went inside myself, and that's when I had to deal with my mother's death. It's just a lot. I'm a book, basically. I said I want to write
yeah,
a book. It's a book. I remember everything. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? But I don't know how much I
please
want to
write a
put
book.
in a book.
Please write a book. Because that'll definitely, that could have unexpected success too, even if it's just to put it out. And you said something that to me that was so very important. You're already starting to communicate with the fairy or magic essence in water. You're very connected with water and plants. And the whole key with Neptune is expressly misunderstood because you're bridging into reality, the dream realm, like an entirely different world. So
Exactly.
I think you
Exactly. You're so right.
then I have chills. Like, I thank you so much for sharing this with me because it's very key. I don't know if I have permission to post this on YouTube. If not, we can keep the secret. But like, once again, this is very key because this Neptunian aspect here is, you confirmed something very important because I had a similar experience happen to me, except yours was way more intense where you were actually unconscious for a few moments. I mean, the fact that you came out and into and you were still alive driving the car, that's proof that your body was being operated by a deeper facet of you. And we've already seen in your chart that you have this. I had a similar instance where my body moved on its own, and I have Neptune on my moon too. Amongst other stuff. And it was weird because like I had surrendered in that moment. I thought that I was gonna get caught doing something, and I was already like, okay, what am I gonna do? I was already thinking of what I'm gonna do in that moment where I let go completely and I wasn't trying to do anything. My mom was looking for marijuana that she thought I was smoking because I used to live in her house, and she kind of smelled something. So my hand went over to the bag and lifted the bag on its own in front of her, and she didn't see it. And my head is looking at that like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my body's doing this on its own. So I've actually had direct experience, and what we're feeling is that deity portion on us. We don't have to even call it a deity. The article will call it an alien, but this inner aspect of us that operates within us once we fully surrender, in my case controlling Capricorn, and in your case to that pure energy within. This is something that's going to now unlock and awaken to where you're no longer going to be unconscious of this. You're going to be able to control this with exquisite power and be able to help induce healing with this for others, because now we know Pluto, the last planet to go over your rising is Pluto. Once Pluto starts to enter Aquarius 2024, 2025, this is going to start to
Mm-hmm.
awaken you. Right, very extreme level. And this is once again the last planet has to come through. When you read that alien construct article that I'm going to send to you, please look up Uranian power alien and Saturnian instrument alien, because Saturn's in your first, but Uranus is retrograde 14 degrees exactly on your sun. So this is having you currently channel higher frequency beings, uh, be aware of the future and cycles and trends of the future, and brainwash, deprogram individuals. It's literally having you manifest this extra dimensional causal realm quality of power. It's like everyone who you speak to, you're manifesting more an awakening of these abilities, myself included. I mean, just hearing your story really it really dropped a lot of knowledge on me, and to know that you're a high king of knowledge is very you know it means something. It's very significant. There we go. So I'm very glad we were able to touch base. I mean, this year chart once again is pretty legendary. I can't lie. Neptune
Yeah,
is
I've been
trining
I've
your
been trying to get ever since For 16 months, I've been trying to find someone, because I've been basically doing it on my own, just listening and whatever resonates to me. But I've been looking for someone that I can talk to. And when I came across your page, I said, yeah, this is a soul tribe person right here. This is a person. And it went on. I've been looking at your channel for a while. I said, this is the one right here. This person here he's innovative. It just ain't like nothing I've seen. He bringing a difference to everything. So I knew, and when it came to me yesterday, said, let him do your chart. You know, because I had been looking at it's only one chart I looked at that told me I was an Aquarius rising. But it seemed like everybody I go into, it tell me I'm a Capricorn. But I
Right.
always stuck with the Aquarius because I liked it to be in an Aquarius for some reason. I ignored the one that said I was a Capricorn. So why is it showing difference? If I can ask that.
No, that's a really good question. It might be the chart styles, especially if you're putting in the same time of birth, because 5 degrees is so close to 29 and the end of Cap. Sometimes the time delineation may be different. Here's the thing, though: you progress forward anyway. So let's say, worst case scenario, your rising is at the end of Capricorn. You would still have progressed and become an Aquarius rising. So that's right to feel that. Yeah, great question.
I love that. It made me detach from a lot of things when I was going with this 16 months. So I liked it. I stuck with that particular chart. But I appreciate you, my brother. And
no
most
problem.
definitely, brother, anytime, brother. I got to, you know, I know I believe I'm gonna speak to you again. I really do believe that.
I would enjoy that. You definitely are welcome to.
Because my life been just amazing. I look at it now; it's been amazing all my life. It's just been experiences. Now I'm understanding the experience now, and I just want to have the experience. So, it's just I can't even say what this North Node is going to take me. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on the experiences right now. They coming.
Oh no, they literally are. So coming into next year, you're gonna have your second house Jupiter chapter, and the nodal return is gonna come through, and then starting 2023, your Saturn will return. So you're literally on the verge of ending a Saturn cycle, and right now you're kicking off a new 12-year cycle, 30-year cycle, and a 20-year nodal cycle. So this year is
it came to me like I was being in. It came to me like when the universe kind of gave me the 24 and then gave me the 25, like this year was an initiation type of situation that I'm going through right now. And that's why I guess I'm seeing so much. It's like the first you being initiated. Now, came and learned some things, experienced things, released and let go. Now you understand, you experience, and now we can give you a different experience.
When I went through my first chapter of Jupiter, I became the peace dealer. And you're expanding the knowledge of you. The universe is getting ready to activate this next cycle for you on path, because there's going to be a lot that you ground realistically for so much people to help them bridge that understanding of the unknown and to really just expose what's been happening around you. But I'm going to send you this recording right now. Please feel free to keep in touch whenever. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email.
I will.
It's no problem. And you stay blessed as always.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Peace and light.